You want to take us to record? We'll be respectful of everybody's time. Hey guys, welcome. All right, well, welcome to the Home Base Monday Night Call. My name is Holly Morris, and I'm filling in for Terry Lamongo tonight. She is traveling and on a great adventure, and so we are giving her the night off tonight. But I'm so excited because tonight we are going to be recapping probably one of my favorite call series that we've done on the Home Base Call, because I just feel like it's so meaty and so valuable for me and for my business, and I hope that it has been for all of you. And so tonight we're going to kind of do a little recap of it all, make sure we're all on the same page and we're resourced. We know where the resources are, because it's one of those things we're going to want to go back and visit really often. I already have gone back and watched several videos, or sent people back to this new team come on board. I'm like, you got to go in and watch this boot camp training because it's just so valuable. And I think for me, one of the biggest takeaways is just feeling empowered to own my business, to own it and run it like the incredible franchise that it is. One of the blessings about what we do is that we get to do it in woven moments, stolen moments, however you want to word that. You can do it part-time, you can do it, in these little spaces and places, but it is a legitimate franchise. Like, it is capable of paying you huge dividends with a little bit of effort. And so when you can go into that with confidence and resource of how to run it like a business, it's crazy how things can change for you and how your mindset changes to where you really become an entrepreneur and a business owner. And to me, the business boot camps that we've been doing are the exact resources you need to go into that mindset and to take that kind of ownership. And so tonight we're just going to kind of take turns, the different national marketing directors who have led these calls, and just kind of give a little recap of a highlight reel, if you will, of the 5 different trainings that went on. And so I am going to start with Miss Amber Weaver. Amber did an incredible, she actually did 3 different trainings on the art of sales, which I think sometimes we're really scared of. We're intimidated by it. We don't want to be that person. We have all this negative talk, self-talk around sales sometimes. And Amber just, bam, she just laid it out there, and she completely changed the mindset. And real quick, Amber, before you go, I did want to say one thing. And when I look at where I was at the beginning of my business, where I really just, I wanted to get my product paid for. I really wasn't, life was full of other things. I really wasn't teachable and coachable. I didn't have the business mindset at all. To all of a sudden where I am now, of being like crazy entrepreneurial business person, like, this is my, franchise. This is what I'm doing full time now. Owning it. Like, what changed? Because the product didn't change. The marketing plan didn't change. The company didn't change. The ownership didn't change. None of those things changed. It literally was me. It was my mindset. It was absolutely what I thought about, and how I thought about myself and my business. And so I love that Amber just jumped right into the heart of it. And so Amber, turn it over to you. Give us a recap of your trainings.
Okay, well, yes, I definitely started out just talking about how the first thing that we need to do is to actually just have a reality check, to the fact that we are salespeople. We are selling a product. We offer a product to people. And at the point of purchase, that means that we sold something. So we just talked a lot about on the calls, we want to know our product. And it's so easy with Juice Plus because, we don't have a massive catalog or millions of products to learn. We have a very simple line of products, and we do want to become experts. We don't have to be experts to start to share those, but maybe a video a day, making it a priority to just continue to learn about your product. Every time that I listen to a video, I, number one, will hear something different. Number two, it'll usually trigger me to think of someone. Like, oh, so-and-so needs to hear this. So-and-so would love this person or whatever. And so that's how I approach even the training aspect and the educating myself on our product line. The second thing that we really talked about was that people don't buy products. They buy solutions. And so we want to learn how to position our product. So what I mean by that is that, what are the problems? What are the things, the solutions that Juice Plus is solving for you? For me as a busy mom, I just told a woman yesterday, I said, with my kids right now, I have a 15-year-old and a 9-year-old. Juice Plus is number one, easy. If you have time to yawn, you have time to take it. And so we can get out of the door and it's not a stressor. The second thing for me that it is just peace of mind, because they're just not getting what they need through my cooking, nor are they getting it through like school food or other methods, going to a friend's house or whatever. So it's just one of those things that even on our worst day, I can say, okay, we did something right. So we want to position it. I did not need to sit there and tell that person at that time every single ingredient and every single thing that's in it. I don't have to go through all the facts. I can talk about the solutions that Juice Plus is solving. And so I gave an example of a pencil. I talked about 2 students that I had. One student got up to sell a pencil and he was giving all the facts, it's yellow, it's a number 2, this or that. The second person got up and they said, no one is perfect. That's why pencils come with an eraser. And you can just tell they instantly knew how to speak to the heart of the matter. And so when we can actually get to the heart of what matters with the person in front of us, and that is going to sometimes look differently, then we will just be speaking their language. And so I want to ask you guys tonight, and I asked this on the calls that I led, do you remember what it was like before Juice Plus? Do you remember how it's made you feel? Or can you think about how it's made you feel since then? And then what problems is Juice Plus solving for you? And I asked this question because my son, our story, his health was just really radically transformed, but it was at a very young age. And he went through this phase where he wasn't wanting to take his Juice Plus. And I one day said to him, do you not remember what it was like before? Do you not remember what it was like to be sick all the time? And he looked at me and he said, no. But I remember, because I'm the mom. And I'm grateful that we got started at such a young age that he doesn't have to remember being on the breathing treatments, being on the steroids, being sick all the time. And so it's easy for us to be in a position where we're so used to our product. We take it so for granted that we forget what it was like before. This is why it's so important to tell your story. Every time you tell it, you'll be reminded of, wow, the power that's really there. So are you willing to actually put the needs of others before maybe some of those feelings that you feel sometimes, like, I'm scared they're going to think I'm a salesperson. I'm scared of what they might think. Are you willing to put their needs before your own fears and insecurities, and to just step out bravely and courageously from a place of love and to share? When we make it about them, that's when we really will begin to speak to the hearts of people, and that's when they're going to hear us the most. That's a recap.
I love it. I love it. And it's, again, mindset shift, right? Because I think sometimes we're caught up in the sales because we feel like it's about us. And I don't want them to feel like I'm just trying to sell. It's about me. It's about me. When actually you really are making it about you selfishly if you're not sharing it with them, because you have a gift to offer them. And so, anyway, I love just how you just hit the nail on the head with that, Amber. Thank you so much. And so now Steph Fletcher, she is going to walk us through kind of a recap of the art of recruiting.
Thank you, Holly. It's kind of funny. I was listening to Amber, and essentially, everything she's talking about with customers kind of goes right into recruiting. The fact that it's not about us, that it's about them. And so many times we're not inviting people into this incredible business, it's because we are afraid of what somebody might think about us. Or I think I talked about when we are introducing ourselves, what do you say when somebody asks you, hey, so what do you do? Well, I stay at home with my kiddos, and I also do blah, 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 or whatever. And I remember I used to introduce myself before I really kind of put both feet in. I would say, well, I'm a holistic health coach, and then I do this little thing on the side. Like, what was that? Oh, it's okay. Like I really wasn't introducing it with power and with confidence. And that is one of the biggest things that I think attracts people into this business, is to be confident. And so even, I don't know who was just saying this about watching videos. It was Amber, but watching the videos and those reminding you of somebody. Well, it's the same thing as you've got to watch that stuff and you've got to educate yourself, because when you educate yourself, you're empowering yourself, and that empowerment turns into confidence. Okay. So, I'm loving the fact that people, with this little group that's going on with our little summer sprints here, that people are feeling empowered to go and ask people that they have not asked, and that was on their chicken list for a year. And one of the things that I brought up when a few of us NMDs went to Georgia and we talked, we were speaking at this group and at this meeting or whatever. And I talked about a story about when we came back from our NMD meeting, and I was in the airport in Dallas, and Lee and I met a family there, and you could tell they were kind of lost. They had 2 plastic bags with them and a little girl. And we started talking to them, and they were from Guatemala and did not speak a word of English, did not have a cell phone with them. And the 2 bags that they were carrying were literally the only things that they owned, the possessions that they owned. And they were going to Washington, D.C. I'm like, oh, Lord. Have you been do you know what winter is like? Do you know what snow is? I mean, they're from Guatemala. I mean, there are mountains in Guatemala, but I was like, whoa. But literally, he just kind of said, we're trusting the Lord, and we're going, and we're going to find work. We're going to find whatever work comes our way. And our first meeting is with they had to go to the embassy and all that kind of stuff. But I thought to myself, what if, and some of y'all have heard that, the burn the ship story, but I'm like, what if we went into recruiting and we just went for it? Like, we gave our businesses everything that we've got with the little trash bags that we had. Because sometimes I think we just assume, like, well, I don't know a lot about health, or, I'm not a personal trainer or a health coach or a physician or a nurse, or I just have this, or I'm not really good at social media, or we can like excuse ourselves out of everything. But what if we just went into recruiting and went into asking people into this business, because it's your business, like you own it. Who do you want to be in your business with you? If you look at this like a business, who would you interview? Who would you hire? Who do you want to come alongside you and go and travel with you and have events with and talk on Zoom calls with and all that? And so even after doing this boot camp, I think that I, for one, really kind of changed my mentality. I think it's constantly changing about my recruiting. I literally asked about 12 people to team in the last 3 weeks. And I'm not playing around, y'all. I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking, why? Like, this is what I want to do. And so the 3 things I talked about is, 1, have confidence. Have confidence in this business, that you are a business owner, and come across very confidently when you're asking. Number 2, you're trying to attract people. So think about, what you're attracting. Are you like crazy all over well, I am crazy, so I sometimes attract crazy people, but what are you wanting to attract? I think sometimes people want to join me because I literally love to have fun. So I want people to come in that want to have fun. So think about how you are coming across. And then the other thing is, just become a master of people and master of asking questions. When you're trying to talk to somebody about the business, you're not going to just talk to them nonstop about the business and it's $50 a year and it's, you're starting to spurt off all the fun facts, but ask them questions like, hey, what do you want to do? Like, if you had all the money in the world, what would you want to do? What is something that could, as far as like, what's a dollar amount that you need per month to make things just a little bit easier? What do you love about health? What's the aspect of health that you enjoy? What is it about people that you enjoy? I mean, just start asking questions. And the part about this business or the product will come out after you know what their answer is. So don't try to sell the business to somebody if you don't know what they're really looking for. Because again, the business is a solution. But what kind of solution? Is it a solution of community? Is it a solution of health? Is it a solution of finances? You got to find that out. So become a master of asking questions. And I think I'm done.
Awesome. I love that. And I think, just Yeah, asking questions. If we can just keep digging. We did some role play at a coffee shop with some reps the other day, and it was funny how, so many times you just stop after one or two questions, and then you want to just go into the solution, right? Well, you should check this out. Whereas we found that if we would just continue the questions, tell me more about that. Is that working for you? How's that go? It just, the more the opportunity for the product or the business just absolutely made sense because of the questions we were asking. So love that stuff. So Jamie Cantrell and I, our parts were very similar. We talked about the art of promoting and the art of marketing. And so the big question is, what is your message to the world? What is the message that you're putting out there? What do you stand for? Define that. Get that really clear in your mind. And then who are you trying to talk to? Who's your avatar? Okay, and this is something we should revisit every, at least 4 or 5 years or so, because my avatar today looks very different than it did when I started this business 14 years ago. It used to be that I was young and had little kids and, the stay-at-home mom, and now, it's like I'm middle-aged and have teenagers. So my avatar may look a little different, or the people that maybe connect to me in that way. And not that we can't connect to lots of different people. You actually should have maybe 4 or 5 different kind of people groups that you feel like you can kind of become a known kind of expert in that area, someone that they would trust and connect with, see that you have value in that area, that category, to bring to them, especially when it comes to health and wellness. And so what does that look like for you? Jamie talked about how she's really looking at, young athletes and busy moms who are raising young athletes. That is a great avatar. And so who is yours? Who do you want to speak to? Who do you want to reach? And then how are you doing that? There's lots of different ways to do it. I love that we get to be so creative within this company of, do you like to do that one-on-one? What's the message you're telling people on social media? How are you doing that through social media? Events, what kind of events are you doing that would attract that group of people, those people groups? So it should always kind of be circling back around. And Jamie made a brilliant statement that I hadn't really heard of before, but basically if you're marketing to everyone, you're marketing to no one. So that's why it's important to ask yourself those questions. What is your message to the world? What do you stand for? And who are your target groups? Okay, and hone in on those. And again, not that you might not reach people in other areas, but at least it gives you a focus of your messaging and your events and what it is that you're doing. And we really promote ourselves in events. And again, remember, event could be a coffee shop date, a play date, a big event, a doctor, a Facebook event. It can be lots of different things that you may be building for, but also you're promoting yourself. And I talked about Terry. I think she's one of the best examples of that humble confidence. You want to be humble. I'm not talking about being arrogant and promoting yourself in that way, but it's what Stephanie was talking about. It's that confidence that's attractive. It's that confidence that you've found an amazing product and you've partnered with an amazing company, and absolutely they should consider it. Like, that's just attractive. They're like, well, maybe I should, when you're that confident with it. So go into things with that really humble confidence and captivate people. We're not trying to convince them. We're not trying to beat them over the head. We're not trying to, overload them with information, kind of like Steph said. We want to captivate them. And to do that, ask great questions, really ask great questions, captivate them with your life, with your confidence. Okay. And then you're going to earn that right to be heard. They're going to want to hear your messaging around that. I love Jamie's verbiage that she taught us of, if I could show you a way for whatever XYZ problem they're having, would you be interested? I think that's brilliant. Write that down. That's so simple. If I could show you a way to come up with some really quick, fast, healthy meals for your kiddos for breakfast, would you be interested? If I could show you a simple solution for getting some really great concentrated nutrition into your body, would you be interested? If I could, so I love that. If I could show you how you could actually get your product paid for and not have to have that as an additional budget line, would you be interested? Okay. So again, asking great questions, offering solutions, like Amber said. Jamie also taught us the system for promoting and marketing that she teaches her team is 50-5-5, 50 invitations, 5 different times in 5 different ways. Okay, so we know that people need to hear the information or be asked more than once, almost always. So don't give up on the first try. Don't give up because they didn't come to that one event that you invited them to. Ask them to another, or offer to share a video, or offer something else. 5 different exposures, 5 different times to 50 different people. What if that was your method? Okay, try it this month. What would that look like? What do you got to lose? Go into it with confidence. Give it a try. We've got tons of free resources to offer people. So again, you're limitless with what you can offer them in exchange for a little bit of their time or curiosity. Okay, so I am going to turn it back now, and Miss Nicole wasn't able to join us tonight, so Amber is going to kind of give us a recap of the customer experience. Oh, you're muted.
Hello. Okay. Nicole was amazing to send me very detailed notes. And so I'm going to be kind of looking at my phone, looking back. I was making sure I had everything in order. But yes, she talked about customer care versus customer experience. So customer care can be done by a robot. It's like automated emails. You know, even in today's world, like our customers can check in and edit their own orders. Juice Plus is sending them emails from the corporate office to just encourage them on their health journey. That's customer care. Customer experience is more about an emotional connection. And so if people are unaware of the experience that they're having, then something else is going to capture their attention. I cannot tell you how many times, and I wonder if this has ever happened to you. You've had someone on maybe your chicken list, and you thought, I really want to talk to them about our business, but they probably are not interested in anything like this. And then they went to an event that maybe a person there was just so excited, over the top excited about something they were doing. And guess what? That person said yes. And maybe they invested like $1,000 into a business, whereas they would only have to invest $50 into ours. But again, it was the emotional connection. And that's what got them going. The same is true with our customers. We want to keep them emotionally invested. We want to make sure they're aware of the experience that they're having, because a lot of times, you guys know, for me, I thought Juice Plus wasn't really doing anything until I stopped taking it, and then I saw what was happening. So a lot of times changes are happening and people may not be aware. So we can actually achieve this by in 3 ways. So attract, engage, and delight. And she talked about how we want to attract actually before the point of sale. So just like I was saying, we position ourselves to be a solution to those prospects. Do you see how this is all being tied together? Like Holly said, I want to know who's my audience. Well, then I position myself for that audience and I attract these people before the point of sale. Okay, attract people into this community, the lifestyle, by being positive and visible through social media, through different events. How many times have you had an event and you haven't taken pictures or put it on social media? You know, we want to make sure that we're using multiple avenues and multiple streams of ways to reach people. And then the second thing was engage. So get those customers involved in the experience. There's a customer profile that you want to do at the beginning of their Juice Plus journey and then throughout. Let them see how their needs are being met. Remind them of those changes that are happening. We have Facebook customer care pages where we educate, we invite them to events, we encourage them to tell about their stories or their experiences, maybe feature someone. She talked about, you know, in an event or even in a post, feature your customers. And then see if they may want to host something for you. Lots of times your customers are going to be your biggest source of people who want to help you. So they love their Juice Plus. Who do they know that needs Juice Plus? Referrals are a great way that your customers can help you, and then just hosting events. Make it a fun event, burrito bowls, sell in a jar, you know, add value to their lives. And then the third thing was delight. So love and appreciate them. Offer free resources that we have available through our community, the cookbooks, the workouts, send thank you notes, maybe include some sample shakes or chews, you know, anything like that. But this is what she said that she wants me to end with. What do you want your customers to say about the experience you provide? If they were telling someone about you, what would they say? That is a powerful question for us to think about. Holly, would you mind if I share one other tiny thing that's a little bit of this? I was actually exposed to a group recently of some people who were very against people like selling products, okay? And I could not understand at first. You know, I thought, oh my gosh, who do these people think they are? Like, what? They just don't, you know, how we always hear people complaining. I'm sick of people selling stuff on Facebook, whatever. Well, at first I was just kind of like, that's so silly. And then when I sort of got to know a little bit more about their perspective, you guys, they had been, I want you to think about this. There are companies that are straight up shady. There are companies out there that are here one day and gone tomorrow. They have no integrity, none. This is happening right now in this industry, where people who have built empires, have built massive organizations and businesses, have invested their life into things, here one day, gone the next. So when I started to really listen to these women and to see why they were so against, you know, maybe the network marketing industry, and I started to, they would talk about how I've seen my friends invest all that they had and on like some empty dream, some empty hope, whatever. I could have allowed it to made me think, oh, everyone's against this type of, you know, maybe I shouldn't share this. I could have made it like cause me to shy away. But when I stepped back, what I realized was that's not who we are. That's not what we're a part of. I paid $50. I don't have a garage full of product. I haven't invested and run up credit cards and done all these things to like make this work. This is real. It's real income. There are 80% of our customer base are just customers, you know, and so when I stepped back, what it made me realize was I don't need to shy away from this conversation. I need to jump in and be, on fire about showing people that no, there is a right way to do this. We are a company with a heart, we are a company with integrity, and we are a company that's legit. And so as a business owner, one of the things that we can do is change the narrative. We can help people see things from a different perspective. So it doesn't mean that those women were wrong, but that was the only perspective that they had. And I have a different perspective, and I can bring that to the table just as much as anyone else can. So you don't shy away out of fear of what are people going to think. It's not your business what they think. Your business is to run your business, to show up, to love the person in front of you, and to do the thing. And if you're on board for that, if this is truly the mission that you want to be a part of, then those are things that you're going to have to really find that inner voice and that inner talk, and like you be that person that's pushing you forward. So I just want to share that with you guys. It really just helps me to have even more belief in this company. I've never been a part of anything, another company, anything else like that. So I was like, whoa, but you know what? Our company is legit. We've been around for all these years. We are stable and we're here to stay. And that makes me proud.
There we go. And that's perfect. And how attractive is that? It's the perfect way to end, Amber. Thank you so much. Because her confidence and her belief in who we are and what we have in front of us is so attractive, right? I mean, you feel bulletproof right now? I mean, I do with my company and my business because I'm partnered with her, and look how bulletproof she is. And so that's what these business bootcamp trainings, I hope, did for you. That's what they did for me. And I've been doing this a long time, and yet they're that powerful. So the recordings are all available so that you can watch the whole thing, get all of the information and not miss out. Tonight, I hope, was a great little recap and reminder for those of you who heard the trainings in length, or a little teaser and taste for those of you who haven't, that you want to go back and watch the full thing, okay? And again, revisit it. When you find yourself shying away, when you find yourself kind of cowing down and kind of questioning and, not having the confidence that you need to really rock your business, then you go in and you watch one of the videos and you go, all right, reminder, here I am, I'm back, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. That's the perfect way to end, Amber. Kathy, we can turn off the recording for here, and you guys have an incredible night. Thank you so much for being on.